Earlier this week, I met with my certified financial planner, Neil Fort Wendell. I've talked about him a lot. He helped me create my plan. And over the course of the last 18 months, we've worked together to develop a plan-only service for this audience. And I'm telling you, you guys were a big part of why he's created that. It's a service that people want. They don't want to jump in right now to full assets under management, really watching fees. What's something that is of high quality that can help me plan for retirement, retire with confidence? So Neil's created this plan-only service with 12 months of engagement. So I met with him, and him and his team have met with 45 clients so far. 45 of you have called him up and said, yes, I want to do this plan only. It's a free 20-minute phone call to find out if you're, a match with what he's providing. And I'll talk about that in a second. But 45 people, I said, hey, what are you hearing from the 45? Let's just talk about the 45. So these are kind of generic, and he is working on testimonials, just actual client testimonials, real impact that I can use on this channel. So we got to get some approval to do that. But I wanted to share some of the high-level comments that Neil and his partner Alex gave me this week. It's on Monday. Number one, highly confident and informed clients. So these 45 were just very talented people, probably in the top 5% of his clients, this audience coming in. These guys are informed. They've got a good plan. A lot of them use Boldin. They have great answers, pretty deep answers to questions that are asked. Both, Alex and Neil, who together work on these plan creations, are highly impressed. Number two, 50% of the clients were engaging in this plan-only service to have something that's more of a legible package with a logical flow path of actions to take to turn over to their spouse in case they die. It's no secret, the vast majority of couples, one person handles the long-term finances, one person. And 90% is in their head. They got some spreadsheets, but not your average person can look at the logic and knows the formulas of these spreadsheets and all the things that they were planning on doing. So they felt the urge to say, I need something for my spouse. It's a gift to my spouse after I die. And that was one of the primary reasons that was listed by 50% of the clients. So if that's you, stay tuned here. The top issue, when you get it into specifics, the top issue where there was significant education and growth and improvement in the plans is tax planning. By far the biggest gap, with nearly 100% of the people needing at least a tweak that saved them thousands of dollars in their plan. Number four, most used the Boldin software. And Boldin started the conversation with very good background, very good analytics, good summary of what the plan was, and allowed Alex and Neil to get into a lot more detail because of the pre-work that's already been done. So also the improvement seen in Monte Carlo scores on the software that Neil uses increased almost to a person, at least 5%, 5 to 8 was kind of an average that was provided to me. So improved their Monte Carlo 5 to 8% really after they've done significant work before inside of Boldin. So at the same time as improving the Monte Carlo 5 to 8%, most could the term was the majority of people could spend more money and do so with confidence and avoiding the one more year trap. Spend more money. Wow, I blended a couple get together there. Spend more money and still maintain that Monte Carlo increase. At the same time, a majority of people could retire earlier than they planned. Same thing I've been communicating when I was reviewing plans with people. They were planning on retiring in 3 years, and then they retire. They decide that they can retire now or 1 year. Very common for me to review a plan. I don't do this anymore, but to review a plan and say, what's keeping you from retiring now 2, 3, 4, 5 years earlier than you expected? And you'll see in that exact same thing. So what's that worth to you? What's that worth, retiring a year earlier and being able to spend more money with confidence? So some instant feedback Neil was getting, on the calls were they were very complimentary of the teaching nature of the calls. The clients wanted to know not only what to do, but why they're doing it. And that was a compliment to the capabilities and interest and willingness to learn of the audience. It's like, why am I making this move? Neil did not make an effort like some of the financial advisors these people have talked to. Some of them make things complicated so that you need their expertise. Like these are secrets. But in Neil's conversation was, hey, I really loved the teaching of the why that you guys had in simple speak. One person out of 45 was not ready to retire, and they thought they were. So they came in with a plan. Hey, I believe I'm ready. Here's my information. And one person was not ready, and they showed them why. Talk about a problem. So worth the price right there for that one individual to say, hey, don't step off that bridge right now. The next one is everyone, maybe not everyone, but the quote was, everyone is pre-programmed with the 4% rule. And Neil and Alex proceeded to say, hey, 4% rule is a nice rule of thumb. You guys all know the 4% rule. I'm not going to review it here. But nobody spends like that. Nobody spends, say the 4% rule says you can spend $50,000 a year. Nobody spends like that. It's more of a smile, retirement smile. I'm sure you've heard of that, where as soon as you retire, if you're in your 50s or 60s, you're going to be spending a lot of money up front on your go-go years. You're going to do traveling more. You may have some more exciting hobbies you want to do. You got to do something with all this time. You're going to spend more money in those go-go years. Then it's going to slow down about 75, according to my plan, about 75 to 80, it's going to slow down. And around 80, it's going to go into just base spending. And then at the end, you may end up with long-term care and increased medical costs. So your costs go up at the end. Nobody that I know of, I've talked to a lot, they start off with 4% and they increase that for inflation. And that's how they spend money up through mortality. That's just not real. And quite often it forces you to work longer because you're doing that. You also, like I retired 16 years before taking Social Security. I'm not going to be taking the same amount percent out of my nest egg when I'm 70 as I am right now. So everybody's pre-programmed like that. You also got one-time expenses. You got a home remodel you're wanting to do. You're wanting to downsize. There's all these things going on. Nobody spends like that. So the 4% rule is something that you got to kind of you make sure you're using that as a rule of thumb, not a plan. That's to verify your plan. Okay, you got your plan. Does it close to 4%? A little less, a little more? All the complex packages like Boldin are designed. They're not designed with the 4% rule. Boldin, you can't say, I want to spend via the 4% rule. You don't do it that way. You enter your expenses. So, hey, what does, when you sign up for Neil's plan only service, what do you get? One, you get a PDF printout that's 70 pages long. lot of charts, a lot of plots, a lot of plans. You're going to get your current plan, what you think, what you're currently planning on doing, plus around 3 alternative paths with the impact. The trend from the 45 people that is, that summary is you're going to retire earlier, spend more, save on taxes, all with more confidence. It's not a guarantee, but that's been the trend. You want to join that trend. You also get a 2-page summary. 70 pages is a lot, but you get a 2-page summary with the key points of the PDF and the dollar value of those actions, what's the meaning, and then the 70 pages if you want to go into detail with a page and a half on each one of those actions. That's what that's about. So you got your summary, executive summary, some people call that. Also a new feature, first time I've ever heard of this. I know you can model this in Boldin. You got to it's a trial and error thing, but they have a printout of what can you spend and maintain a 90% Monte Carlo. So with all your changes you may make, change your rates of return, change your inflation, you can go into this optimizer and say, okay, how can I increase my spending and still have at least a 90% Monte Carlo? Give you that confidence to spend a little bit more money, which is a problem for early retirees. It may sound crazy, but spending enough money when you're guarding your nest egg is a problem. And so outside eyes, outside professional eyes can help spend a little bit more money. I'm telling you, it's very true. You'll find this out day after you retire if you don't learn from others. They also have a Social Security optimizer, given your assets, income, expected mortality, special situations, your goals. And so you can understand why you're taking Social Security at a certain age, not just, hey, everybody I know is taking it at 62. What's right for you in your situation. The last thing you get is you get 12 months of engagement. 12 months of engagement. That's all the phone calls, all the emails to help you with your confidence. You're going to get a lot of information in the summary call. If something happens that changes your situation, you give Neil a call and you work that out, adapt the plan. If you forget something they instructed you to do and you're not sure exactly how to do it, give them a call, send them an email. So that's what you get. So, hey, no guarantees on retiring earlier, spending more, saving on taxes, and having a plan. You're definitely going to have a plan for your spouse if you do this, but there's no guarantee. But that was the majority of people came away with that. Plan only. It's a great alternative to your spreadsheets, which my opinion of spreadsheets, but this is an alternative short of full assets under management. If you want a great comprehensive plan put together, call the number below. It's like the second link, I believe, is to call or reserve a spot. You don't enter a credit card number. You don't pay in advance. This is a 20-minute phone call to see if there's a match with Neil and his team, and then you can decide to go with an engagement from there. But it's a 20-minute phone call, okay? Just 20-minute phone call. I know you guys like stories and comparisons, so I like to share information like this. Hopefully in the coming days, I can share a couple testimonies from real people, can get into details of their improvements to their plan or changes to their plan that they made as a result of meeting with a professional. There you go. This is Joe out.